Radical.
I want to briefly talk about a disturbing trend I've just been reading about when it comes to new vehicles, specifically new vehicles by Nissan, Chrysler, Subaru, and Mercedes. Were you thinking about getting a new Nissan, a new Chrysler, a new Subaru, a new Mercedes? Any of you? Well, if you're thinking about it, you might not want to do that. There's a woman that got a Nissan without doing her homework, and maybe a lot of people don't understand this, but with these specific car dealers, they now have a return to dealer policy on their vehicles. You might ask, what is return to dealer? Well, I'll explain it like this. She says she tried to get her brakes done to the mechanic. Now, she had this vehicle 28,000 miles. She doesn't specifically say what it is. It was a Nissan. I'm not sure if she specifies here what it is. But the woman, whose name is Randy, she goes to her local shop and she says she needs rear brakes. They said usually front brakes wear out a lot faster than the rear brakes, so they don't know what happened. Well, they explained to her how Nissan is one of the new car manufacturers that make these mom and pop shops buy their proprietary software to be able to even work on their vehicles. Because nowadays, everything's fucking electronic. Nowadays, everything's electronic, right? You can't just, and that's a bigger problem right now, because people want all these convenience and they want all these cars to do all these different things. Nowadays, if you want to work on your vehicles, on a new vehicle, it's very difficult to do such. And if you got to take it to a shop, of course, it's more difficult because you have, more complicated vehicles. But this is a whole nother level of scumbaggery, because basically Nissan is making all these shops pay them for the software to even work on the vehicles. I think all they're allowed to do, like Nissan's only allowing other people to work on the cars, is an oil change. So anything outside of an oil change, guess where you got to take it back. Unless the shop you're going to is actually paid Nissan, giving them their money, their cut, to just be able to work on Nissan vehicles. Now, if you're a mechanic, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off. I would be pretty fucking pissed off if the aspect now that you actually have to pay all these companies, Subaru, Mercedes, Nissan, and Chrysler, to do anything to the vehicles. They're built to be return to dealer. Now, the shitty thing about that is, do you know how much it is to get anything done at the dealer? In some cases, you're paying 3, 4, 5, 6, hell, 10 times as much to get something done at the dealer than you would your local mom and pop shops. I mean, I know a couple good mechanics. They don't bullshit me. I know some mechanics right now that used to work. I know one that used to work for Chevy. I got an Impala and he said, listen, it was terrible what we had to charge to do this same thing. And it's such an easy thing, but they basically have a list of what they have to charge for the different types of things, not just regular maintenance, but yeah, I don't go to the dealer for anything. I don't. But now, unless your favorite mechanic that you use pays them the money for the software on the Chrysler, Subaru, and the others, then you got to do that. What'd she say? I'm sitting here like, well, just take the damn tire off, get to the brake pad, change the rotor, flip it, reverse it, whatever you got to do. Just take it off and replace it. Then they said, it's electronic brakes. It's fucking stupid, man. Like, I don't have any cars with electronic brakes. Can some of you out there maybe explain to me the benefits of having electronic brakes, other than the fact it just sounds fucking stupid to me. She says, yeah, she has to pay between $150 to $270 extra. And the saddest thing is she has a Nissan. She has a Nissan, which these days, one of the shittiest vehicles you can get these days. They used to be great. At least I can speak for the CVT transmission vehicles. Run far away from the new Altimas, the new Sentras, all that kind of shit that has a CVT. just about as much for your car to actually, if you have a CVT go out, to just replace that transmission. Yeah, she also says, there's a difference in knowing, hey, this car, all the maintenance has to be done at the dealership. I can make that decision on whether I want to do that, versus you can take your car anywhere. Your brother can do your brakes, your dad can do your brakes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if these mechanic shops want to start working on vehicles that are newer, with all the bells and whistles, they have to buy the software. And she also says, be aware, I'm telling y'all, Chrysler started it, now Subaru, Nissan, and now Mercedes. So we have Chrysler to blame for starting this shit. Of all brands, by the way, Chrysler is, I think, ranked 30 out of 30. I saw a report, and anyone that's ever had a Chrysler knows firsthand those are the most disposable, garbage fucking vehicles you could ever get. Ever, man. Like, it takes a lot of effort to be worse than fucking Audi and more unreliable than Ferrari. No, Chrysler's the dirt worst, right? Maybe some of you are lucky though. Maybe some of you have a Chrysler and you don't have many issues at all. Well, I would say you found a diamond in the rough. I found you found a hidden gem, town and country, or whatever the hell Chrysler's making these days. It's a shame too, because the Chrysler 300 got a fucking nice V8 in it. They look pretty nice, but I wouldn't touch one with a 10-foot pole. So leave it in the comment section down below. Do you have a new Nissan? Have you had this surprise like Randy that you got to take it back to the Nissan dealership and pay a whole lot more to get your brakes done? Of all things, brakes. Not even engine, just brakes. Fuck, man. It's crazy.